Hello! Are you ready to cook? I'm ready to cook. Look what we got here. I am going to make spaghetti tonight. We got Barilla Italian spaghetti, which you can get here in Korea. And a whole bunch of other good stuff. I got this at Costco. Ragu spaghetti sauce. Veggies. This is going to be great. I'm just going to turn it on my phone so I can watch the stream. I like doing that. Mute and click. There we go. I like watching my own stream. Okay, so, all right. We got a little bit of prep work for this. So let's get started here. So, first of all, we're going to need to, there's two stages to this. We're going to need to go over and prepare the meat and vegetables, because I like to put veggies in my spaghetti. Some are going to be fresh, some are going to be frozen. We're going to start with the fresh veggie. Right here, we have ourselves a nice onion. So, first I get able to skin off this onion. Get in the sink. Yeah. There we go. Ugh, this onion doesn't want to. Yeah, there's a trick for that. All right, so you get this stubborn stuff that doesn't want to come off the ends. Just chop it off. That's easy enough to do. Take the old French chef knife. Very versatile knife, the French chef knife. There we go. Away that goes. Now we can get that skin off. I see there's a tiny bad spot on this onion. We'll get that taken care of too. I think it's a little bit strange putting the food scraps in the sink, but that's the way my wife likes the food scraps to be handled, because there's just to separate them here in Korea, and she finds it easier if I just leave them in the sink. It's not the way I used to do things, but it's the way she likes it done, so that's the way I do it. Okay, so I just throw the food scraps in the sink. That's the way we do it here in our household. Okay. There we go. Here's that bad spot. We're going to chop that right out. Try to minimize. There we go. It wasn't deep at all. All gone. We'll throw that in the sink. And we'll just rinse this down a little bit. All right. Now we got our onion. This is simple enough. Let me just adjust the screen a tad here. Adjust it some more. There we go. Perfect. All right. So here you go. Use the good old rocking motion for the French chef knife. People don't know how to use French chef knives often. The trick is, you can do it one-handed or two-handed. But the trick is you can put your hand on the flat end. Don't worry. You'll never cut yourself. This side's not sharp. You can steady it with that. Just use a rocking motion like that. Then we just rock. That's how a French chef's knife is supposed to be used. I never knew how to use one until I'm not using my knife. I have a nice Cutco brand one right here, and I could be using it. This knife here, this is 50 years old, and it has, my parents bought this, and this knife is 50 years old, and it's a really nice French chef knife, but it's heavy and it's a little bit of a chore to clean, so I'm just going to use this light duty knife that my wife has. That's a, oh God, I don't want to be like Britney Spears here doing the knife dance or anything. This is a cooking video, not me being of questionable mind. There we go. All right, so just go over and chop this into nice little pieces. You'll see then they kind of just then fall apart. The little layers of the onion fall apart. And I just kind of break them apart like that. I don't like it if they're diced too small and stuff. It's better just let them go into little pieces like this. Yeah, this is just about right. Okay. So I never really have a problem with tearing up much when I do onions. Some people cry a lot with onions. I can feel it a little bit in my eyes, but I just don't get an intense reaction to onions. Ooh, this one started to grow a little bit here. That part I'm going to throw out. I probably shouldn't. Tell me in the comments if that was the wrong thing to do, but I'm just for the sake of consistency, I'm going to pitch that. Okay, so now that I thought about the effects on your eyes, I'm starting to feel that a little bit. All right, anyway. Okay, now we're going to throw these all in the cooking pan here. All right. All righty. So that's taken care of. Oh, but we're going to throw some more stuff that's fresh in here. I forgot about the peppers. Gotta have some jalapeno peppers. So let's see. Still getting used to configuration of everything. We recently bought a new refrigerator, which I made a video about also. Actually, I think we just made it a cute little skit about our refrigerator being gone and all the food being on the counter. But yeah, we got a new fridge. It's actually bigger than the old one, and I like that. But sometimes I have to look around for things. But I found these pretty quickly. Yeah, I actually went to the vegetable market. Now, these are really neat. I posted these. No, I didn't post these on YouTube, but these are Jeju oranges. Jeju Island. It's not quite tropical, but it's a warm island anyway that's off the coast of Korea. It's still popular for honeymooners, actually. Me and Anne went over and honeymooned in Jeju. These are really nice and fresh. I actually went out of town on yesterday because I have a little bit of a back issue, and I have an orthopedic doctor I still go to for treatment over there. So I went out of town, and they have a nice little vegetable market. Went to the town of Anyang actually, and yeah, doctor went over and gave me a little injection in the back to help with a sore spot I got. And it's called the SI joint if you want to get technical. But anyway, I was in the town and I knew they had a really good vegetable market. So I picked up those oranges and some more jalapenos actually. But right now, I should have left you looking at this. There we go. Here we go. Now I don't really need two hands for this, but I can use two hands. But yeah, the French chef knife is super versatile. Just go right. And if you've got confidence in yourself, then you can actually put the one hand in the line of danger. Just be careful and don't do something silly or you won't be able to count to 10. There we go. I got a few jalapenos here. I don't want to make it too spicy because it's actually fun. I'm the American, my wife's the Korean, and I like things spicier than she does. But I have a solution for that. I actually have literal powdered Carolina Reaper, and I keep that on the table next to me, right next to the salt and pepper. And I could spice things up real fast with that. I'm sure I'll add some Carolina Reaper. But for this one, I don't want to get too spicy on the. She doesn't like her food super spicy, although we're putting some jalapenos in, so the food's never bland in our house. Okay, so here I got a bag of ground beef. And we'll throw that ground beef into the pan. I'll probably readjust the camera in a minute here. I think we're done with the chopping now. Okay. Ground beef is in the pan. There we go. I'll put these back in the fridge. I did buy a couple zucchinis, and I could put some zucchini in. I think I'm going to save that zucchini for later. Yeah, I think I will. Now, here we go. Frozen vegetables. These came from Emart Traders. They're just frozen, flash frozen vegetables, and we're actually at the very end of this bag. So I'm going to finish off this bag. Oh, a lot of ice. That's okay. That'll actually come in useful because I usually add a little water to the pan. So veggie ice might give a little flavor anyway. Okay. So now, the second bag. And throw a few more veggies in. Oh yeah, Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. All right, there we go. You gotta take a look at this. Now, this is Jacob style spaghetti. Okay, we haven't even started with the noodles yet, but look at this. Okay, this is ground beef and all the various vegetables, onions, jalapenos, and all the goodies you see here in this bag. Okay, so actually, this might be the only Korean thing I have here in the, because I bought these in Korea. This is from Costco. And this I bought over at Home Plus, which is British Tesco, but still, this was made in Italy. This is a very international assembly right here. You should actually, if you ever want to see something, there's this economist guy, I forget his name, but he went over and did this video where he went over and held up an ordinary pencil and talked about how so many different components from the pencil came from every corner of the globe. And it was kind of fascinating to watch, actually. It's like he spends a minute thinking of how there was probably 100 different suppliers that had to work together to make that one pencil. But anyway, enough about that. Okay, so let's put these frozen veggies back in. I'll turn on this light. Got this exhaust hood added to the place recently. There we go. Throw these vegetables. Oh, here's something you might find interesting. We're in Korea, so we go through a lot of rice, and sometimes my wife will go over and take leftover rice and freeze it in little bags in the freezer. We're not going to use rice today, of course, but I thought I'd just show that to you. Kind of neat. Okay, so, and there's one more little goodie here. I like this. Whenever I cook ground beef, my little secret ingredient is good old McCormick taco seasoning. And I swear by this, if you're cooking ground beef, put a little of this in. It really just tastes good. It belongs in ground beef. If you're cooking ground beef. And this I have to get imported. I import this from America. I have this nice little mail order service that I get everything brought over from. I need to go over and see if I can get them to sponsor me. All right, that's enough taco seasoning. Throw it more. All right, if you're enjoying this, why not hit that big subscribe button? Subscribe. Give us a thumb up. We all love the thumb ups. Okay, we're about to rock and roll here. I need to get myself a set of chopsticks. Okay, nice wooden chopsticks. They don't scratch the pan, and they don't heat up. They don't melt. They're perfect for stirring things around. And I do have a bit of ice in this from that veggie bag, but I'm going to add just a splash of water. I'm probably going to reposition this camera now. Using my wife's laptop, it seems to actually work better for these videos than I've tried using it. We made our original videos on a tablet, and the tablet just didn't have a very high quality camera, and you couldn't reposition it well. People were saying, hey, I can't see the cutting board on your cooking videos. Yeah. Send us a few super chats, and maybe we'll get a GoPro camera or something. But for now, we'll stick with the keep bumping. This is new. It's this exhaust hood. But I keep bumping my head on it when I go over, so I don't remember that. We just had that installed recently, and it used to be just flat with the thing. But gotta watch my head when I do that. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a splash of water in here, and let's let the magic begin. Fire up the gas. There we go. This will probably take about 10 minutes, but I don't set a timer. As I always say in these cooking videos, I let the onion be the timer. Because the onion, I can tell when the onion turns that golden brown, and that means everything else is cooked, including the ground beef, which of course we need to brown. But just give everything a little stir. Yeah, the chopsticks work great. They don't scratch the pan. They just do the job. They do it well. There we go. Once these frozen vegetables thaw out a bit, they'll be a little more manageable. Yeah, my wife's been asking why don't you use the hood, and the reason I don't use it, other than for the lighting, is because I think it'll mess up the audio experience for you guys watching. But maybe I'll fire it up just for a second to see what it sounds like. There we go. I'll turn it on for you. Yeah, it's too noisy and pretty much background noise, so I'll turn it off. But there you go. I turned it on. I can tell her that I used it for a second. Okay, yeah, things are coming along nicely. I guess I wish if I had an overhead cam or something you could go over and see inside the pan, but yeah. Yeah, maybe I should be. I guess I am a TV chef now, aren't I? Sort of. Not on broadcast TV, but yeah, when I was a teenager, I loved watching Chef Emeril on the Food Network. I actually wanted to be a professional chef, but it probably wasn't the right thing for me to be a professional chef, considering that I got fired from a pizzeria. I did that. Got fired for being too slow. I was doing just fine on the pizza work. They said, you're too slow. I was a little bit salty about that, but you know what? I learned how to do a few things from being a pizza chef. One little dirty secret I know about pizza restaurants is it's not a good idea to order multiple toppings, because if you order, it's official policy at least one major pizzeria that if you order a 2-topping pizza, they go over and cut the amount of ingredients in half. So like if you order a pepperoni pizza, they'll fill the thing up with pepperoni. But if you order pepperoni and sausage, they immediately cut your pepperoni portion in half, and then they'll give you a half serving of sausage on top of it. That causes a problem for me because I really love pepperoni and mushrooms. So I'll usually, if I'm ordering a pepperoni and mushroom, I'll actually order double mushrooms. And I know I'm just paying that to get my full allotment of mushrooms, but I'll have to go over and say double mushrooms. And they'll go over and tell you that they do this because it makes the pizza cook more evenly, and that's complete bull. I'll tell you that, because when I was at the pizza restaurant, I was able to cook my own pizzas with a 50% discount. And when I made my pizzas, they had plenty of toppings on them. And they cooked just fine. It has nothing to do with the pizza cooking evenly. It has everything to do with the pizzeria being cheap. And most of the general public doesn't know they cut your toppings in half if you order a second topping. So if you if you really like pepperoni, you'd be wise to go over and do it single topping. If you really want to play the game, then order extra pepperoni on a single topping pepperoni, and boy, they will cover that pizza with pepperoni. And I hated it when I got those orders, actually, because memory is the hardest thing to put onto the pizza, because it gets real sticky. And it's like, you got to separate all the little pieces of pepperoni clumped together. You got to separate them piece by piece. You can start out on the day, actually, the pepperoni is semi-frozen and it separates pretty good, but then as time goes on, it gets kind of slimy. Maybe I just maybe not want to eat pepperoni, but I still do. But I feel for the poor pizza chefs cooking that. But anyway, I guess my point being, I don't think I was meant to be a professional chef, but I sure like pretending to be one on YouTube now. And by golly, I am not the most efficient cook. That's why I got fired as a pizza chef, because I'm just not a marvel of efficiency. But a little slow cooking is good. I guess I'm an unofficial member of the slow food movement. I heard that's a thing that there's heard that called the slow food movement. People trying to go over and encourage people to eat food that's cooked slow. Not that I have anything wrong with fast food. I love McDonald's and stuff. They have McDonald's here in Korea, but it's a little bit out of the way from where we live, so I don't typically go to McDonald's that often. It's just kind of out of the way. But there's nothing like a good home cooked meal. My mom's a great cook, and she makes good slow cooked meals, and I've always had an appreciation for them. Although while I was a bachelor, I tended to just eat takeout fast food and stuff. But being happily married now, I tend to cook more, especially on the weekends. I kind of work late night on the weekdays and can't really help much during the week. So weekend, I kind of pick up the chef hat and do the work around the kitchen. I need to get Anne to go over and show her making Korean kimchi jjigae. Kimchi jjigae. Jjigae is stew. She makes the most delicious kimchi stew. And she makes a delicious curry that I just adore also. Maybe I'll get her to show her making that someday. Yeah, if you look back on our old videos, you'll see us making kimchi with my mother-in-law. We still haven't started eating that kimchi yet. It's still aging right now. I guess it's like 2 months old now. We want it to age a little bit longer. We're still using last year's supply right now. The kimchi kind of has to age or it doesn't have the right flavoring and texture. Alrighty. Onions are starting to change color. I'll show you guys. Maybe here's an onion. It's slowly starting to change color a tad, but it's not there yet. Okay. Let that cook along. Everything will be fine. Stir, stir, stir. Give it all a good stir. Yeah, the onions are starting to change now. It's looking nice. It's Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a busy, busy day at work. We're doing these. Kids are on winter break from their public schools, but I work at an after-school academy, so a lot of the kids, instead of taking the winter vacation off, they just get sent to the academy for morning classes. So I got to teach morning classes and afternoon classes. Gonna be a busy day, but I'm getting overtime money for it, so it's not so bad. I'm not worried about AI at all because, yeah, they might make an AI English teacher. I was talking to my wife about that today. She's also an English teacher. We don't work at the same place, though. We were talking about, oh, is AI going to take away English teaching jobs? And I say, heck no, because we also do a lot of babysitting work on top of the teaching. We are teaching English, but we're also serving a vital role of looking after the kids too. So I don't think AI is going to go take over that component. Plus, I think there's just a tangible benefit to having an in-person teacher teaching you real stuff. Of course, I guess things are getting better with AI translation these days. I know it's been a bit of a political hot potato. And I don't do politics on this channel, but it's a little bit of a hot potato that I'm a big fan of anime, and apparently some anime translators were taking liberties with the translations to throw politics into the English translations, and the companies now are starting to go over and just straight up switch them out with AI, and people are actually happy about it because the AI is actually being more faithful to the translations than the political messages people were putting in it. But I'm not going to focus on that. This is not a political channel. But yeah, I don't know. Will my job be taken over by AI? I don't think anytime soon, because the AI can't replace the babysitting component. But I am kind of getting into this YouTube thing partially because I've kind of said that I'm getting older and stuff, and I need to have some new source of income if I get too old to teach. And I figure you can get entertainment as old as you want to be. Like George Burns was doing movies up till he was 100 years old and stuff. You can go over and be an entertainer forever. So I'm just going to go over and make this right now is my side gig, I guess you could say. Yeah, these are getting pretty well done here. Onions still aren't the color I want them to be, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, this is the hard part. Once we get to this done, we'll go over and transfer these over into a bowl, and then I'll cook the spaghetti. If I was in a real rush to make this fast, I would simultaneously boil the pasta in this pan, but I'm not in a big hurry. It's only, right now in Korea, it's only 4:50, so I don't really want to make this too soon anyway. So I'm just going to cook slow and like this. I'm kind of curious if any of you use these videos of me cooking as like ASMR things to help you fall asleep. I actually sometimes do that myself. I'll go over and put an earphone in my ear and go. I usually put one earphone in because I'm have the other one down on my pillow. Mm-hmm. And I'm still stubbornly refusing to give up phones that have the standard headphone jack in them. I know this phone, I bought this phone in 2020. You know, it's still holding out. You can see me cooking. I'm streaming myself right now just to see what's happening. But this phone's in pretty good shape. I actually had it, of course, the Achilles heel on these things is the batteries. But I'm in Korea, fortunately, so I was able to go to an official, because my phone's a Samsung Galaxy. I was able to go into an official Samsung service center, and they charged me $40 for service and parts to go over and do the surgery you have to do to get these phones open these days. I miss my old. I used to have a Samsung Galaxy S5, and that was so easy. The thing opened up right away. They changed it, and it was like $20 for the battery. Now they have to do surgery on the thing to get it open. So takes the next. But the battery was served me pretty good for until like around, I think it was October, September last year. I replaced it, and new batteries serving me just fine. I'm not so worried about proper charging habits now because I can pretty much go over and be as rough on as I want to now because the phone probably won't last more than a year or two longer. So I don't really care if I'll go over and run it down until it's at its last drop and charge it up again. But I know that's not really a good habit. But I don't really care because heck, I know I can go over and for $40, I can always replace the battery one more time. Okay, we are getting really close to this. I'm going to get a bowl ready. So, use the bowl I'm going to use. Bone China. I never noticed this one back there. It's Bone China, made in Korea. I actually brought over, I have this, yeah, here it is. This fork belonged to my parents, and they had this thing for probably 50 years, I guess. What's funny is if you look at it right here, it's stamped made in Korea. So this thing actually came full circle, returning to its homeland. That's kind of cool, I think. But it was made in Korea for export to the USA. Was in the USA in active service. My parents still have a bunch of these, and they use them. So I took a couple of them with me. And now this fork's back in its homeland. It's still just as good as the day it was made. Kind of cool, I think. Okay, we're getting there now. It's almost ready. You see, I normally wouldn't have thought of putting Brussels sprouts in pasta, but they're part of the mixed vegetable bag, so just, and they don't really twirl up on your fork well, but you can just stab them and eat them. I love Brussels sprouts. I never understood why. There's foods that stereotypically people don't like broccoli here. I always liked broccoli as a kid. It always annoyed me. Grew up in the 1980s, and every children's cartoon thing we go over and show broccoli is the most disgusting thing. And I actually love broccoli, and I think actually that made me like it more. Like I've always been a contrarian. If you go over and, as my dad's always says, my both parents are both alive and healthy. I don't want to say I'm past tense. They're both alive and healthy. So I said my dad always said, I don't even think he's passed away. My dad's alive and healthy over in the USA. We spent a month with them in August, actually. Talked to him on the phone. Yeah, I use it's really a cool system. They still use landline phones, although they have a cell phone too. But I use Skype, and Skype for like $20 a year, or $20 or $30 a year, something like that. I can make unlimited phone calls to the USA on a traditional phone through the internet. And that really comes in handy. And yeah, I was talking to my parents yesterday, actually. Back when I was heading over that doctor's appointment, actually. Okay, this looks about ready, I think. I think it's ready. Let me just try one of the dangoons. Dangoon is the Korean word for carrot. I like that word. It sounds funny. Okay, this is done. Okay. So, I'm going to pour it into the bowl here. Normally I do it closer to the sink, but for your entertainment value, I'll be a little risky and put it here, and hopefully I won't make a mess. Yeah, just stir, just push. I don't want to get every last bite out because I'm going to boil the spaghetti in here anyway, so I don't care if a little bit of beef gets left behind. Obviously, I don't really want boiled beef, but I'm going to try to get most of it out. Okay. Okay, the hard part's done now. I'm not going to get every last morsel out of this. I'm just going to, oops, and I've gone all this time without making a mess, and I made one at the last second. I should eat that. There we go. Yeah, that's good. So look at that. All of this is going to go be part of my spaghetti. Like, we haven't even started on the noodles, and look at all that goodness. Meat, vegetables. A little bit fell off there. I recovered that. It is good. Too bad you can't taste it here. Wish I could go and let you try a bite of this. But we don't have Wonka Vision. And as we know, Wonka Vision's a dangerous technology to play with. As Mike TV found out. Alrighty, so now I will get my Pyrex measuring cup. And a little hack that I have is that I have a water dispenser. I guess I'll turn over here for you to see. There it is. All right, I can make this water boil a lot faster if I start with hot water. That'll just get her going. This cuts we got a gas stove, which is good. And then we start with this also to preheat the water. And we get the action going pretty quick. Pretty quick indeed. Alrighty. filling up. Once I get this thing filled up, it takes a little bit of time, but I'll start that boiling. And while it's getting up, this won't take it quite to a boil, but it's pretty close to a boil. So I'll put that one in and start that one heating up. Then I'll keep filling it up with this water dispenser. And look at myself on delay on myself. Well, that's kind of cool. You can see me at the water dispenser there. Here I am washing back. Oh, this gut. I do need to lose some weight, but it's hard to do. I'm a big guy. I'll admit it. I'm a big guy. At least I'm tall. I'm a tall guy also. That helps. All right, there we go. So here we go. I got my Pyrex filled up. I'm done with this. I might just as an extra bonus make some Jello in this thing. Oh wait, there we go. Gotta get the sequence right. If I don't press this button, it'll only dispense 1 cup of water, and I want to get the thing nice and full. Alrighty. I am going to intentionally make leftovers today. I got lots of meat and stuff for it. So I maybe want to go over and give my wife a break during the week when I'm going to be too busy to cook. And I'm thinking I'll intentionally make some leftovers, and then I can have a dinner all set to go during on Monday or Tuesday that I can eat. And that's just a little less work for her to do, and I can do that. That's a nice thing. Yeah. Yeah, marriage changes you. It's no longer just about yourself. You got to go for it. You still are yourself, but you got to also think about the other. It's a whole different world. I was a bachelor for over 40 years, and here I am. I'm a married man. Hey, don't they give hope to all you? There's hope out there. It's never too late. Okay, now I press the override button, then I press hot water, then I hit dispense, and I get it right. Did it the right way. Okay, the water's almost at a boil right now. I'm going to put a few more cups in. Also, I think it tastes better if you use the dispensed water rather than sink water. Most people, I think it's actually safe to drink tap water in Korea, but very few people trust unfiltered tap water in Korea. So, yeah, I used to go and buy tons of bottled water. Then in the last 2 years while I was a bachelor, I actually bought a Brita filter. And oddly enough, we don't need it here because we got our own, but actually I gave my Brita filter to my sister-in-law, and she's still using it right now. She's no doubt drank some water from it today. So that you can actually get here in Korea. A lot of stuff I get imported. That was something I got here. Okay, we're almost here. Let's go. There we go. How far? We're 44 minutes of this. Yes, this is why I got fired from the pizzeria. I'm too slow of a cook. But I make it up a little bit on this. This is slow food. I have to go over and research that. The slow food movement. It's actually, I'd be great on Jeopardy, I think, because all these English textbooks we use, they tend to go over and be stories about things. So I've taught several lessons where the English textbook talks about the slow food movement. That's how I know about it. It's been a textbook topic in a few textbooks I've taught. And here we go. Korean slow food movement. If you want really slow food, that fridge in the pantry there, that it's got some kimchi that has been aging for a couple months, and we will be eating it over a year from now. There's kimchi. There's your slow food. You don't just make kimchi. You gotta be patient with that. Oh, you gotta be patient. So patient. Okay, water's already boiling, but I need more water for the pasta, especially since I'm going to make a full thing of this. Pour that in. Is that enough? Is that enough? Maybe I'll just do half simmering. No override on this one. Barilla! Imported Italian. Which is funny. In Korea, they say Italia, which I don't know, maybe Italia. Maybe that's how Italians refer to themselves. They don't say Italy, they say Italia. So, and they'll say Roma, not Rome. That's actually a big thing with a lot of silent letter. Korea has a ton of loan words, but they tend to go over and not make silent letters silent. For example, got these oranges here. So the Korean word for orange is actually orangey. They'll say orangey because they pronounce the silent E. So, yeah, so that's a common thing. So I have to get them out of that. Then there's some weird things like the word for, they use the word camera for camera, but they pronounce the silent A in the middle. They'll say camera. And I say, no. 2 syllables. Put your hand under your chin. Camera, not camera. That's a constant battle. All right, I think that's enough water. I'll put a little at the side just in case. Okay, now comes the fun part. I always snap my spaghetti strands in half. My wife actually thought that was different. She had never heard of people doing that, but that's the way my mom makes it. I think most people in America make it that way. Maybe the Italians are horrified by that habit. I have no idea, but I always snap mine in half. There we go. So I'm going to take a nice chunk of spaghetti. I'm thinking of that scene. This is obscure cartoon that ran on the late night Cartoon Network called Tom Goes to the Mayor. And in the episode, it's this bumbling mayor and this poor citizen who's always trying to give him these ideas. And I think it's the pilot episode. Or no, it was the Porcelain Birds episode, I think, where they're at a buffet, and the mayor says to poor Tom, have you tried the spaghetti? They serve it with marinara. He's splattering him full of tomato sauce the whole time. I don't know. I just thought of that when I said that. I think of lots of things. There we go. I'm going to stir that around. It's a little trick. When you drop the stuff in, quickly stir it around a bit, or the pieces will fuse together. And that makes yucky spaghetti you don't want. You don't want the pieces to stick together. That's no good. All right. Will I put the full box in or not? There's a little bit in here. I got plenty of sauce, though. I think I will. Sometimes, just to make things interesting, I'll throw a few unbroken strands in. I'm going to get creative. I'm not going to break these ones. We'll have a few long strands just to make things a little exciting. There we go. Unfortunately, it makes stirring a little more difficult. Notice I have not set a timer. It claims that it'll be done in 5 minutes, but it won't. It'll take longer than that. But I do not use timers when I cook spaghetti. I exclusively rely on taste for spaghetti. Exclusively. That spaghetti soften. Oh, I lost a viewer. Yeah, hope that you enjoyed it. We'll miss you. Hope the other viewer stays. Here we are. We love you. When I say we, I mean me and my wife. She's actually watching TV in the bedroom right now. She's enjoying her Sunday. Later, I'm going to upload some videos. We took a big walk outside. We do some high-end dumpster diving in our neighborhood because actually, me and my wife are just English teachers, but we actually live in a neighborhood that's got some pretty rich guys in it. And they throw out the nicest stuff, actually. So we go over and we're discerning dumpster divers. We get some pretty nice stuff out of them. A lot of the furniture in our house is stuff that's real first-rate stuff that we just go over and dumpster dive for. This frying pan here, that was a dumpster dive item. Yeah. We had a waffle iron that was a dumpster dive. Works just great. Give it a nice thorough cleaning, of course. There we go. The noodles are starting to soften up. In a minute or two, I'll start taste testing them. In a minute or two, we'll start that process. Oh, I was thinking about making Jell-O for my wife, but I'm not sure. I can probably do it. Let's see. What is the rules? You need 1 cup. Yeah, we got 1 cup. Perfect. I'm going to wait for it. Heat that up in the microwave now. I don't know. Maybe I should wait. Kind of getting to a critical point. Do that later. We'll see. As Anne tells me quite accurately, I'm not the best person at multitasking. That'll go in a recycle bin. The way trash works in Korea is a little bit different than it does in America. You don't subscribe to most people in America, like they pay to go over and have a garbage subscription anyway, where they come in with the garbage trucks and pick it up. Here, you buy a taxed bag that's prepaid anyway. You throw it away, but recycling is free, so it kind of goes over and encourages you to do your recycling. And I'm not the biggest environmental alarmist or anything, but I do think recycling is a good idea. It's no point in wasting stuff. So I think there's a lot of alarmism about environmentalism, honestly, but I do like recycling. Like, there's no reason to let good stuff go to waste. This pasta will soon be ready. Spilling a little bit. That's okay though. Oh, my microwave's chirping at me. Chirp, chirp, chirp. All right, there's the water. Maybe I'll make a jello out of that in a second. Maybe taste test the pasta. Getting close. Getting pretty close. I think I'll wait on that. Better to wait. I'm getting too close. Ooh, 55 minutes. Still going here. 55 minutes in. Yeah, it's not exactly the fastest thing in the world to cook. But it's a good meal. I guarantee you this will taste so good. We're going to have leftovers, so I'll be able to eat some of this during the week and save my wife a little trouble. I'm the Weekend Warrior Chef. That would have made a good title name for a channel. I wonder if someone's already taken that up. Almost there. We are almost there. And that was one of the full noodles. So I know it's the least cooked because that was what I put in last. Here we go. Let's try it. Oh, this is like full noodle. I might be tempted to pull it out now, but I know my wife doesn't like it. It's too al dente. I'm a kind of a fan of making it al dente style, and I will make it al dente, but she doesn't like it too crunchy. But this is where you can't trust a timer. You really just gotta pull off piece by piece. See if you got it right. Yeah, we're here. This is done. Turn off the heat. And I don't use a strainer. I just use my chopsticks. And you can. Whoa. The panel's kind of hot. There we go. Drain this off. You don't need to get every drop out because it adds a little bit of moisture to the spaghetti anyway. If you have a little bit in. Oh, I lost a piece. What a pity. Grab it with my chopsticks. There you are. 5-second rule. All right. Now, I could just dump the meat straight on top, but I think it's better if you kind of layer, because getting it all mixed up can be an issue. So what I'll do is I'll pour a little bit of sauce on first, then I'll throw in a little meat, then I'll throw in a little sauce. Here we go. We're going to pour this Ragu sauce that we got at Costco. There. Oh, Anne's here. Hi, Anne.
Hello.
Watch out for my phone. It's over there. Okay, so we're actually right at the final stages here.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, no problem. Say hi to the crowd. She's in her pajamas. That's okay. She didn't spend all day in there.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Jacob, you gotta use these.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to shake that up. Well, we'll see. I haven't used all the sauce yet.
Let me see.
We might use the full jar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm purposely making
Okay,
leftovers.
kind of hungry.
Yeah, we're gonna be ready in about 5 minutes, I think. Yeah. She loves my cooking. I love her cooking too. We have a decidedly international style of cooking. Well, she makes Korean food, I make American food. Or is this American or is it Italian? I guess I'm sure Italians would say you're not making real Italian style. But there's this meme that's going around where it goes over and compares a pizza chef from Italy with a pizza chef from Domino's, and it's like the Italian has this miserable, terrible looking pizza that he presents, and then the Domino's thing has this beautiful picture of a pizza with all the toppings and cheese and stuff, and it's like, who's American anyway, who looks at that meme will go over and say, yeah, America's winning the pizza war. And Domino's was not the company that fired me, incidentally. Or I wouldn't be talking about them in a good light. The company that did fire me was a major chain, though. So you probably have the number of brands narrowed down to one or two, but I'll leave out which one it was. Their stingy topping policy might give you a clue, but maybe they all have that policy. I don't know. I think I'm going to do the full jar. Normally I would, I'm going to use the full jar. Normally I'd use hot water for what I'm going to do now, but usually I'm using it in glass jars. This jar is plastic, so I'm a tad nervous about using hot water for this. Okay. Just take the jar. In a glass jar would be hot water, but you just like that. Pour that out on there. There we go. Now this will be nice and sauced up. And I'll just throw that in the recycling. That's another item we don't have to pay to get rid of. All right, there we go. Clean that up a little. There that goes. Okay. Just about, Ann. Just about. She's asking if it's done. I said just about. Now it's a little bit runny on top from that water I added. So I kind of got to stir this in.
So is live stream?
We're live streamed, but this is going to be it'll be archived. No, we're live streaming.
I see.
Although I think we're the only viewer right now. But hang on, this will be archived. So I'll take a look here. What do you think? Oh, I use two hands to hold this up.
Ooh.
Woo! I take that as an endorsement.
Ooh.
Grab some tongs.
Okay.
And we're going to go over and end this live stream and have some spaghetti.
Yay, spaghetti.
Yay, spaghetti. Say goodbye, everyone.
Spaghetti.
Say goodbye, Ann.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're going to eat. So see you next time. Thank you for watching.